What's the best thing about the US? Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy. Thanks. Story 1. The Americans with Disabilities Act is seriously some of the best handicap accessibility protection in the world. A paraplegic person can wheel themselves into pretty much any commercial building in the country and be confident that there will be ramps in all the right places and a restroom they can use. If there aren't, there are powerful legal tools to make it happen. That's not the case in a lot of places in the world, and it wasn't that long ago that it wasn't the case here. Story 3. We are huge. You can go on pretty much any kind of a vacation you want without leaving the country. Beach, mountains, desert, snow, high culture, big city, small rural town, sports, music. The only limit is your time and your budget. Story 4. I beg people to get off Reddit and actually spend time in their neighborhoods or actually talk to people. Americans are incredibly resilient, hard-working people who always want to see improvement. We know we're not perfect, but FFS, the smallest story about America bad, will flood the front page, and anything seen as success is treated as the ills of capitalism in America. If you visit any American city, you'll see that it's very progressive, and people are happy, polite, and want everyone to be who they are. It's easy to get trapped in the clickbait headlines, but remember that Reddit is a big karma farm and doesn't reflect real life. I came from a very poor upbringing, a large urban public school, and was able to graduate college and create a pretty comfortable life for myself. I'm not rich by any means, but my life is pretty good. I don't think I could have had this life if I lived in other parts of the world. Visit an American park on a Saturday. At least where I live you'll find diversity, natural resources, friendly people, families, and no judgment. We're not what the extreme right wants us to be, and we never will. We don't wait for the government to do something for us. If we want something, we build it. And if people like it, they support it. You can't stop an ambitious American. I'll kindly accept your downvotes now. Story 6. USA is a great place to be an engineer. We pay our engineers better than any other country. If you can get a relatively inexpensive degree in engineering, then you can most likely swing middle class no problem. Story 7. Diversity. Sometimes it blows my mind that a place like Florida could be in the same country as a place like Alaska. Story 8. The ability to get in your vehicle and drive wherever you want to see the vast natural beauty of the US and to experience the diversity of different regions and ways of life. Story 9. Variety of landscapes, lifestyles, and culture. You can choose a region, a state that suits you and your lifestyle or beliefs. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. You are free to be. While in no way is the US perfect, no place really is, and there are a lot of fucked up people, and we need to fix our healthcare system, it still has a lot going for it. Story 11. The Americans with Disabilities Act. I didn't realize how much reserved parking spots by the door, wide sidewalks that must be clean, handicapped bathrooms, and having ramps at the entrance were important until my brother became wheelchair-bound. Story 12. It might not show on the news or even on social media, but the diversity is truly amazing. You can have a group full of different types of people and it's always a good time. I've never been out of the country, but I find it neat that we can get a taste of almost everything here. It might not be perfect or authentic, but at least we have an idea. Story 14. Medical care. Now, before everyone rips my head off, it's not how affordable the medical system is for everyone, it's the quality of doctors we have. Story 15. In general, despite how the media might portray it or how much the US is criticized for racism, the US is by far the most culturally diverse country. Most other countries don't have as big of an issue with racism because they are mostly homogeneous and the outliers are typically well integrated. If you see a black man, an Asian, a Caucasian, and an Indian all hanging out in America, nobody will bat an eye. But if you have that same group in France or Germany. In France, everyone there was staring at us like we were little green aliens having a picnic. Story 17. Some people might disagree with me, but many Americans are the nicest, most hard-working people you'll meet. I'd also obviously say our natural landscape scenery. Even here in Michigan, you'll be surprised how cool some places are. Funny enough, went down to Detroit recently. Despite it being Detroit, I like how old it is and how the architecture was. I feel like one thing a lot of people should think about is how a lot of America's appeal is also in its small towns. Like you can't understand the world unless you know a place like Missouri. Story 19. Public libraries are awesome. Story 20. National parks, customer service, and jazz. Oh, and Americans are pretty damn friendly. Story 21. I really like the diversity in this country. How anyone can be an American, and you have no idea who is American and who is not. That's my favorite thing. You have no idea who is just sightseeing, who is visiting family, who is here on a student visa versus who is actually American. So, until someone says otherwise, we are going to assume you are American. Doesn't matter how thick your accent is. Doesn't matter how you dress. You are American until otherwise noticed. Also, I love how quickly we adopt things from our immigrants and declare it American. It's like, what are you eating? Is it delicious? Let me try some of that. Oh, God, this is delicious. Go open up a restaurant. More people should be eating this. And now it's part of the American fabric. I love how the American tongue is such a mud language. How quickly we adapt non-English words and more often than not pronounce them how they would be pronounced in their native tongue. We don't try make them more English like the way the French will French up foreign words. I like how it's easy to correct an American by saying, it's actually pronounced this way. And they will have a go at trying to say it correctly rather than huff and puff and try to make you change the way you say it. Language is so adaptable here. It's far more forgiving than other languages. You can butcher it up here, and as long as we understand the idea of what you are trying to convey, you will get a pass. I think it's why it is such a juggernaut on a global stage. Yes, we have language rules, but the native speakers will mostly ignore them in order to communicate better. The best thing is the people though. You have so many good people. Of course you have more than your fair share of bad people, but I can live with that. Yin and Yang. Your very best are amazing. Your ordinary are terrific. There is so much talent, but the sad thing is you don't know what to do with most of it, so it goes to waste. Story 24. Bigfoot. Story 25. Obviously our freedom. Just kidding. We have amazing scenery. Our national parks are amazing. Go up to AITA, down to Long Key, over to the Pacific Northwest. We have great flora and fauna. Story 26. Access to goods. Not prices, but access. Story 27. For all the haters, at least half of the people in the world would kill to live here. Story 28. I believe I once read that Americans are among the most charitable people in the world. Honestly, most people I know are really pure, kind individuals. It's a shame we get such a bad rap. Story 29. If I don't like where I live, I can go somewhere thousands of miles away that has completely different laws, culture, and climate and don't have to get anyone's permission to do so. Story 30. First Amendment. Seeing other countries' governments go after people for saying shit they don't like is terrifying. Especially what is happening to that one Australian dude right now and has happened to him. Someone can remember who he is, cause I can't. He was exposing corruption or something. We are extremely lucky to have our First Amendment here in the States. Second Amendment is pretty cool if you are a law-abiding citizen like myself. Just sucks when unstable cans get a hold of a firearm. Being able to go outside in my woods and just blast off insane amounts of firepower on a Tuesday afternoon is neat. Being able to go down to my local gun store and pick up a new pistol, rifle, or shotgun whenever I want is neat. Our national parks. Holy fuck our parks. We got parks all damn day, and they are next fucking level. Like, seriously. The culture. Lots of foreigners for whatever reason like saying the USA has zero culture. Like, bitch. We have a stirring pot of people from literally every part of the world here. They bring that culture with them. They marry outside their culture a lot, thus mixing cultures, which in turn spawns newer cultures, making little babies with their own culture when they get older, and the cycle continues. I don't think I said culture enough. Story 31. Salaries. I work in tech. Story 32. Broadly speaking, the level of quality is high in many areas of daily life. White-collar jobs, music, movies, TV shows, national parks, sports, doctors, AITA, technology, brands, university education, and so on. Obviously, there are many areas of low quality that need to be addressed: policing, insurance, etc. But Americans tend to take for granted the general goodness of many things. Story 34. Jazz. Story 35. Entertainment industry with movies, TV shows, comics, etc. Story 36. Lots of natural beauty and variety. Great national parks. Story 37. European here. Lots and lots of space. Great driving infrastructure. Drag racing. Cheap AF compared to Europe. Story 38. US is a magnet that attracts the smartest of the brains. Story 39.1. It has almost every climate, terrain you can think of. Desert, forest, tropical, mountains, etc. 2. Anything is possible mentality. As someone from Europe, I find we are stuck in our ways and hold on to tradition a lot more than Americans. This is cool in some ways but can hold us back in terms of ingenuity when it comes to things like food and technology. The Americans aren't afraid to put pineapple on pizza, for example, whereas you would be chased out of Naples for trying such a thing. 3. Biggest exporter of cultural output. Most trends in movies, technology, and music can be traced back to America. Story 41. A place where most anyone can come and have good opportunities if they are willing to work hard. I enjoy meeting people from other countries partly because they give me a different perspective. Often it makes me feel grateful for what I have and the opportunities I have been given. What I have achieved has allowed me to help others. Story 43. The fact that within the country you can find swamplands, mountains, Great Lakes, beaches, etc. is remarkable. Story 44. The amount of money we make per year on average is a lot higher than some countries. I am able to travel the world on my salary. Story 45. Drugs are so easily available everywhere. Story 46. The diverse food. Story 47. That we can all say what the worst thing about the US without government reprisal. Story 48. The propaganda is top-notch. Story 49. Amazing landscapes, best constitution, great cities, different cultures. Story 50. It is not Russia. Story 51. You can die for free at Olive Garden. Story 52. If you have money, America is an amazing place to live. If you don't. Story 53. You can be dumb as a brick and get elected to our highest offices. That's pretty inspiring in a strange way. Story 54. Freedom to say fuck the CCP. Story 55. Pizza in NYC. And that's coming from a Bostonian. Story 56. The people.